Honey, guy. Welcome to Morning Joan. I'm so glad you're joining me today, because we've got a whole lot of juicy gossip and exciting news to dish out. Grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's dive right in. First up, have you heard about the latest Mission Impossible movie? Well, let me tell you, it's getting some serious buzz. The reviews are in, and while some critics are raving about Tom Cruise's death-defying stunts, others are saying it's a bit of a disappointing farewell to the franchise. Can you believe it? I need to see it for myself, don't you? And speaking of drama, have you heard about the bombing of Pan Am 103, the new BBC drama series about the Lockerbie bombing? It's getting some serious attention, and not just because of its all-star cast, including sex education's Connor Swindles. This show is tackling some heavy stuff, like the impact on victims' families and the kindness of strangers in the aftermath of tragedy. I'm definitely adding it to my watch list. Now, let's talk about something a little more controversial. Peter Andre's new film. Jafakin has been getting some serious backlash, with critics accusing him of cultural appropriation. Ow! Ouch. But Peter's not having it, saying he's just trying to have fun and do something lighthearted. What do you think, guys? Should we give him a pass, or call him out for his Jamaican accent? And finally, Nicole Kidman is back with season 2 of 9 Perfect Strangers on Prime Video. I mean, who doesn't love a good wellness retreat drama? This time around, she's joined by an all-new cast, including Henry Golding and Annie Murphy. It's going to be a wild ride, folks. That's all for now, but don't worry, we've got plenty more tea to spill. We'll be right back with more on Morning Joan. Welcome back to Morning Joan, folks. I hope you're all caffeinated and ready to dive into the wild world of entertainment news. We've got a real treat for you today, with not one, but 2 blockbuster box office stories that are sure to get your attention. So, let's get started with the first one. It looks like Tom Cruise is still flying high, literally and figuratively, with his latest Mission Impossible installment, The Final Reckoning. This movie has just rocketed to number 1 at the Korea box office, raking in a whopping $5.4 million over the weekend. I mean, that's no small feat, especially considering it accounted for a staggering 66.63% of total weekend revenue. Can you believe it? The film drew in over 759,000 admissions across a massive 2,385 screens. That's what I call a mission accomplished. Tom. And if that's not enough, we've also got news from the Chinese box office, where Mission Impossible isn't the only big player in town. It seems that the latest installment of the franchise has also topped the charts in Korea's neighboring country, with a similarly impressive debut. But what's really interesting is the way these international box offices are shaping up. I mean, we've got local titles like Dang, the snitch in a Minecraft movie, holding their own against Hollywood heavyweight. It just goes to show that there's more to the global film industry than just Tinseltown. Now let's switch gears a bit and talk about what's happening in China. We've got some fascinating numbers coming out of the Middle Kingdom, where Mission Impossible is facing off against some tough competition from local favorites like The Wandering Earth and The Battle at Red Cliffs. But don't worry, Tom Cruise fans, it looks like Ethan Hunt is still got it, with The Final Reckoning raking in a respectable $20 million over the weekend. And finally, let's not forget about the other big players in the global box office game. We've got Marvel's Thunderbolts and Final Destination, Bloodlines making waves in Korea and Japan respectively. It's clear that the international film market is more vibrant than ever, with a diverse range of titles vying for attention from audiences around the world. Well, that's all for today's box office breakdown, folks. It's been a wild ride, but we're not done yet. Stay tuned for today's last cup of tea, right here on Morning Joan. Welcome back to Morning Joan, darlings. We've got a fascinating story to wrap up today's show. You know I love a good Hollywood tale, and this one's got it all. So, let's dive in. You might know Mariska Hargitay as the talented actress from Law & Order, Special Victims Unit, but what you might not know is that she's also a filmmaker with a very personal story to tell. Her new documentary, My Mom Jane, is all about her mother, the legendary Jane Mansfield. Now, I know some of you younger listeners might be thinking, Jane who? But trust me, sweethearts, Jane Mansfield was a Hollywood icon, a blonde bombshell with a wit as sharp as her curves. Mariska's documentary is not just a tribute to her mother's memory, it's also a deeply personal journey of self-discovery. You see? Look, Mariska was only 3 years old when her mother died in a car accident, at the tender age of 34. Can you imagine growing up without knowing your own mother? It's a tragedy that would leave anyone with unanswered questions and a deep sense of longing. Through intimate interviews, never-before-seen photos, and home movies, Mariska sets out to uncover the truth about her mother's life, both on and off screen. And what she finds is nothing short of remarkable. This documentary is not just about Jane Mansfield, it's about the complexities of their mother-daughter relationship and the power of vulnerability. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Joan, this all sounds very sad. But trust me, darlings. My Mom Jane is ultimately a story of healing and redemption. Mariska's journey is one that will leave you in tears. Happy tears, that is. And with the documentary premiering on Max on June 27, you'll have the chance to experience it for yourself. So mark your calendars, lovelies, and get ready to be moved by this incredible true story. And remember, as Mariska so beautifully puts it, there is strength in vulnerability. Don't we all need a little reminder of that from time to time? That's all for today's Morning Joan. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay fabulous.